Here's the weird thing, right? Normally, if someone's in their second ever split, the conversation's supposed to be, if they had a good first split, like, was the first split a fluke? Like, are they a legit player? Will they be like an established player going forwards? You know, was it just their meta that was good? I don't know if you've seen this, Kaiser, but have you actually seen that, like, on Reddit and Twitter, etc.? People actually call you the best support player in the world.
Wait.
That's not a joke, for real.
Yep.
You seen that?
Yeah. Well, I have one more. I have one more. So ESPN did a ranking of all the teams in the world. They do like their world's rankings. Did you see this by any chance?
I saw it.
Okay.
I mean, okay. So every time we see another ESPN world ranking list, we always like try to laugh at it and like stuff like that, because I mean, honestly, like it's just ridiculous that we are like rated as like the second. Yeah. I mean, of course, like. You can't take it seriously, right? Like, I don't think we are like ever at the point yet where we can call ourselves like second best team in the world, where we haven't once played an international game, right? We are only playing in LEC right now, and I mean the LEC or LCS games at the start didn't count, right? But like the scrims. But yeah, I mean, I think like LPL teams are looking insanely strong right now. Like there's like I think like 3 or 4 which are like really strong. Have like insanely mechanical players, like they have good macro, they have pretty good understanding of the meta, and I think saying that we are like better than LCK teams, better than like, I mean, so the top LPL teams is a bit ridiculous.
I mean, you have to realise, like, if people don't know, first of all, literally the purpose of those lists is to get discussion. That's the whole point of doing those lists, is power rankings, etc. Yeah. It's supposed to basically be that everyone's supposed to argue no matter what. Like the joke is, even if it was like number 3 should be number 2, people will fight to the death over that as though it was like the end of the world. So first of all, that is kind of the point of those lists. Secondly, if people don't know, if you do a power ranking, you actually can't take into account what Kaiser just mentioned there. You can't say, well, this team's never played internationally, so I can't rank them high. It's a power ranking. Like, you have to rank the teams that are the hottest in the world as the best in the world. So at the moment, like Cloud9, for example, will always probably be higher than anyone from Europe thinks, because everyone in Europe goes, we haven't got anyone good to play against. It doesn't matter. That's not how power ranking works. Like, if they have some insane streak of like 8 games in a row with no losses, they're going to be really high up on a power ranking. But what I'll say is this: the team angle is less interesting for those reasons. Like, until you play, it doesn't really mean anything. But on the player angle, the reason I bring that up is that's such an extreme contrast. Like, to be in the first year of your career and have people actually legitimately put you forward as best player in the world in your position, that's insanely unique, especially for support role, dude. It's normally all the classic players who are the supports. You know, the people who've been like a top support for like 4 years. That's normally you do it by being like the brain guy, the captain or something. Well, like, even though, like, obviously I'm not saying, are you the best support in the world? It's like it's a subjective consideration. But what do you think about the fact that you're at this position so quickly, though? Because it's somewhat legit, right? If you're in the best team in Europe, Europe's supposed to be the best region, or at least a contender. You've looked like one of the absolute best players on your team. Like, it's not a totally unreasonable setup, right?
I mean, of course, like, if people think we are like a top tier or like top 2 team in the world, then people will think some of our players are top 1 or top 2 in our like
Makes sense,
world as well, right? But I believe that for sure, like I can compete with like LPL or LCK supports, right? But to call me the best is like a bit how do you say a bit too early, I think, because I mean I think like the reason why people call me like really good so early is because we as a team play. Yeah, I mean, mechanics counts in as well, right? Because I play like some standout champions like Wukong or Pantheon, right? Where you can just carry with them, right? Usually supports play Nautilus or I mean, maybe Tam Kench or something. You can't really, exactly. You can't really look good on them, right? But since my team allows me to play stuff like Wukong, I mean, it just looks like I just look better, right? And I mean, I have to credit my team for that as well.
That's a weird way of saying it, Kaiser. You go, since my team lets me play stuff like Pantheon and Wukong, like, I go the other way, mate. I go, you let your team play fucking Pantheon and Wukong. What are you talking about? Like, the other supports aren't even picking real fucking meta supports. You're playing all of them and the fucking niche picks. Like, that's props to you, not your team.
I mean, that's true, but the thing is, like, I've seen a lot of AD carries. They are just reluctant to, like, troll picks, I guess, because they always want to play with Nautilus. They always want to play with Loyona. Sure. I mean, Kazi is kind of the same, right? Like, he's always a bit reluctant when I like try to forward my Pike or something, right? But I think he was really open to change, I guess, because when I like proposed the Senna Wukong, he was always like, yeah, sure, let's try it, right? Let's try it in solo queue, see if it works. And this time it like just worked, right? Especially into immobile AD carries, it was looking really strong, and we played it in scrims. and it was always like working insanely well. And like we just got better at the strategy as well, because like, and Kazi at the start he was just warding, right? He was like farming my minions, stuff like that, right? And he always like forgot, oh shit, I shouldn't take cannons maybe, stuff like that, right? But as we got better, as I coached him a bit, Aroma and Humanoid, they coached me a bit with like side landing, stuff like that, right? Kazi coached me a bit with like manipulating the wave in our favor, stuff like that, right? It was a big team effort, and I think we managed it really well.